All right, today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to take one of the most ordinary objects from your kitchen and really put it under the microscope. Yep, we're talking about the word kettle. And I promise you, you'll be surprised by just how much is packed into those 6 little letters.
I mean, it's a fair question, right? A kettle is, well, it's a kettle. But, as we're about to see, some of the most common words we use every day are kind of like icebergs. There's a whole world of meaning hiding just beneath the surface.
So let's start with the image most of us probably have in our heads. If you're in the UK, when you hear the word kettle, this is what you picture. A device made specifically for boiling water, usually for a good cup of tea. It's a huge part of daily life in a British kitchen. But what seems super simple is never the full story. And here's where it starts to get interesting. Because it turns out, just by hopping across the Atlantic, this very basic word already starts to change its meaning. What seems universal is actually pretty specific. Let's take a look. And this slide lays it out perfectly. In the UK, it's all about the tea kettle. But in the US, a kettle is much more likely to be a big old pot, something you'd cook chili or a stew in, probably over a stove or even a campfire. It's the same word, but for 2 totally different kitchen tools. And believe it or not, that's just the first layer we're peeling back. Now, what's really fascinating here is that this isn't just a story about teapots and cooking pots. The word kettle actually has this special status in the English language, a designation that goes way, way beyond the kitchen.
And there it is. The word kettle is one of only 850 words considered absolutely fundamental to the entire English language. This is the basic English list, a super simplified version of the language. And somehow, kettle, a word that can't even agree on its meaning between 2 English-speaking countries, made the cut.
So this is the big mystery we need to solve, right? Why this word? I mean, out of hundreds of thousands of words in English, what makes kettle so essential, so basic, that it's considered foundational? Well, the answer is in its incredible and sometimes just plain weird versatility. To really understand why, we have to leave the kitchen far, far behind us. The word kettle pops up in some of the most unexpected places you can imagine, describing things that have absolutely nothing to do with boiling water. I mean, just look at this list. It's amazing. The same exact word can mean a hole in the road, a powerful steam engine, a musical instrument, and even a type of geological formation left behind by melting glaciers. We're covering music, geology, transportation, even zoology. Okay, I had to give this one its own slide because it's just fantastic. Seriously, when a group of hawks circle together riding a thermal updraft, their movement apparently looks like water swirling in a boiling kettle. It's such a beautiful, poetic piece of language, and it just goes to show how far this simple word can stretch. So, kettle isn't just a noun for all these different things. It's also woven deep into the fabric of our expressions, our culture. It carries this figurative weight that helps us describe some really complex human situations. If you ever hear someone say this, trust me, they are not talking about a tasty seafood dinner. This phrase means you found yourself in an awkward, messy, or really difficult situation. The kettle here represents a jumbled, unpleasant mess. And here's another one. Oh, this one's a classic. This is the ultimate idiom for hypocrisy. Accusing someone of a fault that you have yourself. See, back in the day, both the pot and the kettle would have been blackened by the soot from an open fire. So for one to criticize the other is just absurd. It's a powerful metaphor, all thanks to our humble kettle. Okay, so let's bring all of these threads together now. We've got different kitchen tools, a flock of birds, a musical instrument, and all these common idioms. What does this all tell us about why kettle is on that super important basic English list? And here is the crucial point, the real aha moment. That basic English list, it isn't about the easiest words. It's about the most useful words. Kettle earned its spot because it's a linguistic powerhouse. It can be literal, it can be metaphorical, it can be technical, and it can be poetic. It's a single tool that does the job of a dozen others, and that is the true definition of a foundational word. And that leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? If a word as seemingly straightforward as kettle contains all of this history and all this variety, what about other words we use every single day without a second thought? Words like key or box or run. Maybe the most fascinating stories in our language are the ones hiding in plain sight.